Hi everybody. Today I'm going to explain about product costing. So product costing is a very vast subject or vast concept. This one I'm going to explain in multiple videos, and this is our first video where I'm going to focus on the plant cost. So what is product costing and why it is required? And before that, we should know the costing methodology. So basically here I'm going to explain the costing methodology, a little bit about the what are the components about this product costing. Then I will explain about the plant cost, and I'm going to show you one plant cost calculation or the cost run, so that you will get the idea what are the different components are there in our plant cost. So in another video I'm going to explain about the cost object controlling, or which is known as your actual costing. So let's move into the PPT, and we will try to understand what is this product costing and when it is required. And this is very important topic from your interview point of view. You If you are going to show that I have the knowledge of controlling, then definitely one question will be there from the, or one or couple of questions will be there from the product costings. Okay, now let's start with PPT. Now you can see here that product costing, and in product costing we have to understand a little bit about the costing methodology. So in costing methodology we have two concepts are there. One is your moving average, which is price control as V, and another one is your standard price. Basically, moving average, you will find less usage when we are going to do a cost calculation in any manufacturing unit. Maybe you will find that more usage on the trading business. And particularly when you are not working on material ledger, so that time the use of moving average is more. So moving average, in that case, we are going to consider the cost with every transactions. If there will be, for example, let's say what is the total cost and what is the total quantity, then we will find out the moving average price. Now, to understand this moving average, let me take a very simple example so that you will get the idea of what is moving average and when it is applicable. So moving average, basically, like with every transaction, the price is keep on changing, and system is automatically going to calculate. How system is going to calculate? Let's say we are going to purchase 100 units of any material or any particular product, and let's say the per unit price is 10. So now what will be your inventory price? So at this moment, we can say right now our price is 10. Now suppose we are going to procure another 60 units of material, and this price is, let's say, 12. Now your material price will be 720. So now we have a total inventory units. This is your units, and this one is your value. So our total value, this one, and our moving average price, 10.75. This is our moving average price. Now if you are going to consume some materials, or we are going to calculate the cost, and let's say out of this 160 units we are going to consume 7 units of material, or we are going to issue the goods to production 70 units. So 70 units will be evaluated at a price of 752.50. Now we have closing inventory after this consumption. This is our material cost. This 752.5 is our material cost, and the average price we have, it is 10.75. Who calculated this price? Automatically system is going to calculate. With every transaction, it's only GR I am showing. In invoice also, with invoice also, if difference will be there, then moving average price is going to change. Already I have some videos. I will add that in the description, so you can go through those videos. You will find that the price keep on changing with every transaction. Now suppose, let's say we are going to have another unit of purchase. Now you have closing inventory 90, and the closing value 97. Now suppose we are going to purchase another 50 unit at a price of 15. So what will be our price? This. Now what is our total value? Second transaction, the receiving of 50. So now we have a closing inventory of 140, and the closing value of the inventory is 1717.50. Now if we are going to calculate the moving average, or system is going to calculate the moving average price, then this will be, so what we observed, the price is changed here. So the price changed with every transaction. So like this, if there will be any invoice that is changed, then price is going to change, right? If there will be any variance will be there, their price is going to change. So this method is helpful when, like, we don't want to calculate any cost. System is going to calculate the cost, and automatically system is going to find out the cost calculation. So moving average price is one of the cost calculation method when it is like material ledger is not there, or we are having trading business, we are not bothered about all the variances, everything separately we are not going to track. So in that case, moving average price is applicable. Some people they also suggest that you should go for moving average price for raw materials, for packing materials. But when you will go for a proper manufacturing unit where multiple bill of materials are there, or we have a detailed cost analysis process is there, then this method is not helpful, because here we don't have any information about the variance. So basically we can say small unit, small venture, or material ledger is not there, we are not manufacturing, maybe you can go for in that case moving average price. So I will not give more weightage to this moving average price, so that's why we will go for the standard price. So what is standard price? Standard price means it will be a constant price without considering the usage or the invoice. That means, let's say the price, one unit price is per unit price is 10, then throughout the period the price will be the remain same. So material or our inventory is going to evaluate at the same price for that particular period. That means during the month, whatever the consumptions will be there, whatever material cost we are going to calculate, so that cost will be calculated with the same price. That means at a price of 10. So the price is not going to change. Then variances obviously will be there because your actual price will be different. So variance will be there. Variance we are going to separately calculate, and that we are going to separately track. So in this video I'm not going to that detail. Already I have the video. I will give you that in the reference. You can go through that so that you can get the idea difference between moving average price and the standard price. So the variance are posted to different account, price variance account. It is also going to be there in the material ledger. So it will be there in your external report, means in GL, as well as in the material ledger, and without affecting our standard price. Then in month end or in period end, the price, the variance we are going to settle. So this is two methods are there. One is your moving average price and standard price. Then which one we should follow? Normally companies, they with the actual cost when it is there, or when they have a proper costing method is there, they prefer the standard price. And for all type of materials, raw materials, standard so they prefer standard price for raw materials, for their semi-finished stock, for finished stocks, for all type of materials they may consider standard price. But if manufacturing unit is not there, trading business, they may go for standard price. But it is always very debatable which price we should go. But best usage if we'll follow, or if we'll find more usage, then more usage on the standard price. So that's why always we prefer, again, it's always debatable. So I'm not going to conclude here we should go for moving average price or standard price, but usage point of view we will find more uses on standard price. Okay, so I'm assuming that we are going to follow the standard price, and same we are going to apply in our cost calculation process. That means in our cost calculation process we are going to follow the standard price. First we are going to calculate the plant cost, then we will go for actual price calculation, then we will calculate our variance. Now let's come back to the PPT. So there are three components are there in our cost calculation point of view. One is your plant price. So what is plant price? When we are going to calculate this plant price? Plant price we are going to calculate in advance. That means before financial year, in advance we are going to calculate the plant price. So, for example, let's say you are following the financial year April to March. Then before starting of April, this price need to be calculated in advance. If you are following Jan to December, then before January, this price will be calculated. So this is our plan price. So we can say much before our actual production, this price need to be calculated. Then as we are calculating plan price, so definitely actual price need to be calculated. So that's the second component will be there as cost object controlling, or it is also known as your actual price calculation. And in this process, when the inventory will be used, then obviously material ledger impact will be there because inventory need to be evaluated. So basically we can say product costing has three wings. One is your plant price, another one is your cost object controlling, third one is your material ledger. So if you'll check this PPT, so first one is plant price, product cost planning. So in this product cost planning, we have product cost estimate with quantity structure and without quantity structure. Now, what is this with quantity structure and without quantity structure? Assume that we don't have PP, so production module is not there. So in that case, we will go for product cost estimate without quantity structure. Assume that we don't have the PP module, so in that case, we will go for product cost estimate without quantity structure. So without quantity structure means we are not going to integrate with our PP module. So that means we are not going to prepare here maybe bill of material. Maybe we are not going to prepare here routing, but it is not always true. But basically, if PP module is not there, then we are going to calculate product cost estimate without quantity structure. But in some cases, we are also, if it is, if we are trying to calculate base planning object, so then both will not be there. So bill of material will not be there, routing will be not there. So that means we can say PP is not there. But in some cases, maybe we don't have PP, but bill of material we are going to prepare. That means it is, let's say product existence is not there, then we will go for base planning object. If product existence is there, but manufacturing is not yet started, so in that case, we will go for bill of material, but without routing. So that's why both options we can consider here. So your plant cost, you can segregate into two components. So one is your product cost estimate with quantity structure, wi- uh, with integration with PP. If PP is not there, then it is without quantity structure. Okay, so let's see the plant cost without quantity structure. So if it is without quantity structure, now what is plant cost? What is product cost planning? So product cost planning is a tool for in our controlling that enable user to calculate the cost of production in advance before commercial production. So as I said that before financial year, before actual production, we are going to calculate the cost, and that we are saying that plant cost. It's just like before actually incurring some expenditure, you are doing a planning. So on the basis of your historical data, on the basis of your previous data, what are the components, your material components, your activity components, your overheads, everything, all we are going to include here in advance. So on the basis of last year data or on the basis of historical data, you are going to calculate the cost. Okay, so in advance we are calculating the cost. So it is going to provide some planning purpose information. It is provide an estimate to figure out if we are going for the actual production, if you are going to manufacture x units of product, then what will be our standard price. So that's why we are going to calculate this uh, plant price, or with quantity structure or without quantity structure. But when basically we are saying that we will go for plant price calculation and manufacturing unit is there, then it will be always, you will find this one product cost estimate with quantity structure. So that means we are going to have bill of material. In future, I'm going to explain that bill of material. Then we have the operation point of view, routing also. Then which industry we are going to follow the without quantity structure. So without quantity structure, we are going to use basically where manufacturing unit is not there, or you can say PP is not there. So if you're not going to have routing, we are not going to have uh, any manufacturing process is not there. So in that case, we will go for this one. Service industry, maybe they can go for this cost estimate without quantity structure. And as it is plant cost, so we are going to also calculate the variance. So that's why one is your plant cost, then cost object controlling, actual cost will be calculated, and variance will be, we are going to have, so it is basically for your profitability analysis. Let's say we have calculated the plant cost, and the plant cost is, let's say, 500. So on the basis of, we are going to have the goods cost of sales or cost of goods manufactured, so that's we are transferring to COPA for our profitability analysis. We can use this one in the financial reporting also through the logistic transactions. So there can be, it can be used. Second part, you can say this is cost object controlling. So cost object controlling with product cost with order. That means we can take a manufacturing order. But in this video, I'm not going to explain this one. It will be lengthy. So in another video, I'm going to explain that one. So product cost with order. You can take a manufacturing order for calculation. You can take a sales order also. So one is your make to stock process. Another one is your make to order process. Okay. So this will be a sales order, can be used as cost object. And another one is your product period. Now, what are the different components are there in our plant cost? So you can see this diagram. So this product cost estimate which we are going to calculate. So product cost estimate or this plant cost uses different components. That means it is like if you are going to calculate your plant cost or your actual cost, so we need other settings also. Like it is going to integrate with this CO module. Of course, we are going to calculate the cost in CO. So CO need to be integrated with MM module. CO need to be integrated with our PP module, and activity in-house will be there. So it is going to be integrated with your PP module or PP PI module for process industry, and it will be integrated with material management to provide all the information, because from various sources we are going to accumulate the cost and we are going to calculate. So that's why here you can see the different components. So this is my MM module, procurement module, because material master will be required. Bill of material, that is part of your PP module. Then routing to define your operation, that is also again PP module. Work centers, part of PP module. So we need to design, we have cost centers and we have the work center. So cost center will be part of our controlling module, whereas work center is part of our PP module. Both once it will be integrated, then the operation or activity price will be calculated. Activity types, that is also our component, but it is our, that is our CO module. Okay, activity type CO module. This is also CO module, and activities purchase info record maybe you can consider. So these are the different components which are required for plant cost calculations. Now let's move to the next PPT. So you can see this particular structure here, which integrated multiple things. So in quantity structure, we are going to define the bill of material, then and routing. So basically this is part of your PP. So this one is your PP segment. Then we have the value structure for our price of materials. Okay, so how we are going to get the material price? Once the MM will be integrated. So this is your PP, this is your MM. Once the both the things will be integrated with CO, then the material price will be calculated. Activity again, routing. So this is for your activity routing. Once it will be there, price for activities will be calculated with CO. So basically it is CO and PP integration. Then overhead, which is surcharge cost, also we know. So that will be calculated as a part of your CO module. In future, I'm going to show you. Okay, so these are the different components when you are going to calculate our both plant price as well as actual price. So plant price in advance we are calculating. That's why we are saying plant price, and all the historical data we are going to include. And in actual price, we are going to take the real data. So with reference to some cost object, we are calculating the cost. So that's why we are saying that it is actual data. Coming to the next segment, next part, that is what are the material data we are going to, master data we are going to integrate here. So we have material cost, how we are going to calculate the material cost, or what are the components we are going to include here. So you may include here raw material, you may include here packing material, you may include here semi-finished stock to calculate one finished stock. And for that, you need to prepare your bill of material. So bill of material means what the product we are manufacturing and what are its components. Suppose we are manufacturing one laptop. So in laptop, what are the different products are there? So we need to have screen, we need to have uh, different components like chips. We don't have, we need the keyboard. So different components are there. So everything will be assembled. Only with the raw materials or packing materials, we will not able to manufacture. We need the activities also. How we are going to convert those raw materials or packing materials into finished stock. So that's why we need to also calculate the conversion cost. So each conversion is linked with activity. So suppose we are doing assemble activity, we are doing testing activities, we are doing some electrical activity. So all this activity need to be linked. Activity means it will be there in the PP. It need to be linked with your CO, so that the price will be calculated and the price need to be. So that is nothing but your routing. So in routing, we are going to define all these operations. As many as operations we want, we can add here. So under the work center, under this work, this is our work center. Under this work center, cost center need to be designed. Now work center is part of PP, cost center is need part of CO, and under this we are going to have different operations. So under operation 1, under operation 2, operation 3, under operation some activities will be there, some activities here. So once the activity means quantity will be integrated with the value, so we are going to calculate our activity cost. Similarly, we need to also include the surcharge cost, material overhead, production overhead, your admin overhead. So then we are going to have the product cost will be calculated. So these components also there. Product cost master data integration. So as I said, there are some scenarios where we are going to calculate material cost without quantity structure. So without quantity structure means with BOM, without BOM. That means if let's say there will be no bill of material will be there. So material with no bill of material routing. So completely PP is not there means production process is not there. It is also you can say base planning object. That means any one product is there, a very early stage of planning. So in that case, you are just going to or user is going to feed the data in the system and the cost will be calculated. So material price updated in the master records and we will try to calculate this one. It's a very early stage of cost calculation, or you can say like product is in the planning stage, commercial production is not started. Service industry, they have components, they have material components, but they don't have any activity, they are not manufacturing anything. So in that case, material price with second one, material price with bill of material, but operation is not there, no activities, everything is there, that is also manually. It is also known as your unit cost estimate. When you will go for with quantity structure, that means it is known as your automatic cost estimate, but this one is known as your unit cost estimate. And when you will join any project, if it is a manufacturing unit, then you will find this method is not applicable there. Or maybe like if a new product they are going to launch, in that case base planning object they may follow. But otherwise, if manufacturing is there, continuous production is there, and in advance if price need to be calculated, then they will go for with quantity structure, not without quantity structure. That means the cost will be integrated with this one, so they will go for this option with quantity structure. So this part will be there, this will be there, so cost will be integrated. You can see here material components, our activity and overhead. So how we will get the material price? Once we are going to integrate it with our module. How we are going to get this activity price? And PP, because bill of material will be part of PP. How we are going to calculate this activity price? This value, suppose. How we are going to get it? Once we are going to integrate with PP module, routing and CO. This one through costing sheet. Okay, so these components I will show you in a actual cost run. So there you can get these informations. So material price, activity price, indirect cost price. So all these things will be there. So this is actually, we can say, proper cost calculation process by integrating with the PP module. Okay, so to understand this particular PPT in a better way, I already have one video about Material Master. I will add that in the I button also, so you can check that one. So what are the different fields of Material Master which is going to impact your cost calculation? Okay, so the cost calculation, you can see basic informations related to Material Master or Mara table informations, where we are going to have the some information which are relevant for our cost calculation. Then our purchasing view also important, for because ultimately we are going to procure the material for our cost calculation. So those data also important here, definitely check that video too also. Then production point of view, MRP views are also important. Okay, so when any company is going for manufacturing any particular product, so they may have multiple type of materials. So they have raw materials, they have packing materials, they have consumables. So all these things need to be designed in the bill of material to calculate the cost. So let's understand here one material master to understand this one in a better way. First, let me show you one cost run, so that then after that we will find out different components. Now you can see this is one cost, plant cost, which is calculated here, and here come multiple components are there. So what are the different components? These are my different components in my cost calculation. So this includes my raw material cost, packing material cost, then couple of activity related cost, then some surcharge cost like your material overheads and activity overhead. But how we calculated this cost? No user is going to add these informations in the system to calculate this price. User is just going to run the cost estimate and automatically system is going to calculate the cost. So for that purpose, we should have all the backend configuration, as I said, PP configuration, CO configuration, your cost object configuration, cost center. So everything need to be configured. All this integration must be there. Now assume that everything is there and user just executed the cost and this cost is calculated. Now let's see here what are the different components are there. Sometime before I said that there are different components. So we have material cost. Now if you'll check here, this is my material cost. These are our different materials. So in this bill of material, we have components like hard disk is there, RAM is there, processor, screen, packing material. So these are different components. Now this data, how we calculate it, these are different. This is my master record. Okay, because material master is very important component in your cost run. So this is a master record and these are the quantities. Now this quantity will be added in the PP module or in the bill of material. Now let's see one bill of material to support this one. Let me check you the bill of material. Let's see whether these components are there or not. Now what is my finished product? My finished product is 13-inch MacBook and the material number is 27. Now let's check the bill of material. Now, as it is planned cost, you can see in this bill of material. So what is bill of material? To manufacture 1 unit of this particular product, it may be one or it may be X unit. It may be in one batch, maybe 50 units is there. So to manufacture 1 unit of product or X unit of product, what are the different components are there? So these are the different components which you can see in the screen. And this is my plan data. This is my plan data. Now this will come from your PP module. This data we have maintained in the PP module, and this master records will come from your module. Once it will be integrated, then we are going to get the price. In the beginning, I said that whether we are going for standard price or actual price, standard price or moving average price, that depends on your methodology, costing methodology. I'm here using the standard price. So that means we are calculating the cost with standard price. Then in period end, we are going to calculate the actual price and then we will calculate the variance. But this is in this particular video, I'm explaining plan price. So that means we will here discussing the plan price, right? So in our cost calculation process, we have the material component is there and how we are going to get this material price. Once in bill of material, we have mentioned these are the different components of materials will be there, and those we are going to integrate with PP module under bill of material. Then we are going to find out the plan price. You can see these quantities. So how we got these quantities? Because these quantities are maintained here. These are the different material masters. You can see 12, 13, 21, 22, 24. This information is also there. This is now my plan data. Maybe actual data different will be different. Maybe 2 units of packing material I'm going to use. Maybe this price is going to change, right? So that is why we have the variance is there, but the structure will be same. So this is how we are going to calculate our plan price with material master, with material components. Now if we'll see why this material master fields are important, or particularly this MRP views are why it is important. Let's randomly going to let me pick one material. Let me take the first material, that is 12. Now check this material master here. So material number 12, which is there in our bill of material. In this bill of material, you can see this is my MRP view, which is there in production, and the procurement type is there F. That means we are going to purchase this material in our production, or we are going to consume this material. For that, we have to purchase it. So that's why this particular field is going to determine how the material will be treated in the cost run, whether we are going to purchase this material. As right now it is planned cost, so without material also we can calculate the cost, but in actual cost calculation we have to purchase it. That means we are going to purchase it internally. If it is only purchase, then in that case maybe I can select here, it will be our F. That means it is procurement type we are going to take here F. So that's why I selected here. Some materials maybe we will internally transfer. So in that case, instead of F, we will go for here in-house production, that is E. If it is both, then we will use here X. But in this case, I have selected F. That means we don't have this material. We are going to purchase this material. Fine. So this is how these different fields are important. Now, if we'll check here in this component, uh, some costing informations are also there, and these costing informations are important because the calculation point of view. Let's go to the same material. Now let's go to the same material and we will check the costing information which is there in the costing tool tab. This is my plant. And before that, let me also add here the accounting one. So already I explained the use of valuation class for the integration point of view. So that's why you can see here the valuation class is there 3000. But basically right now as I'm explaining the cost process, so important here is whether it is moving average price or it is standard price. So here it is standard price. So price control is updated as standard price. So that means the importance of the this particular field is very much for your costing methodology point of view, right? So that is also another important field related to material master. So integration is highly required. Similarly, if you'll go to the costing tab, now you can see here some informations are there. So first the cost will be calculated, then we are going to update the same in the material master. So you can see this price is updated here, 25.44. This price is updated 25.44 USD. The price is updated as current price. How this price is updated here? First we have calculated this price, then only we have updated this price. So after calculation of this price, once the price is calculated, once it is marked, then after that it is released, then this price is going to update. So all these fields having its own importance is there for calculation point of view. Now coming to the next segment in our cost. So far I explained what are the different components related to our material. So material cost will be very important part of your product cost. So we are trying to calculate the cost of this finished product, which is 27, and what is the price? 21888. And in that cost calculation we have a major components related to material. For this we have prepared the bill of material. We should have in detail settings should be there, and we should have the pp integration with is should be there, and in co we are going to calculate the cost. So as we know that only with material we can't calculate the cost, we should have the activities must be there. So for this activity the structure is, so we know that we have plant. So in high level we have the plant organization structure point of view. We have plant. Under plant we may have multiple work centers are there. Okay, I'm just designing what is my cost calculation in this example. As many as we can use the work center. So here I have used two work centers, W01 and W02. Now under this work center we are going to assign the cost centers, the production cost centers. Under this cost center then we have multiple activity types will be assigned operation point of view, and we are going to calculate our activity related cost. So let me show you the work center. So let me go to the system. Now this is one work center. Again, it will be created in the PP module, or we are going to get this from the PP consultant, consultant. They will design this one, then check this tab. So here you can see a couple of activities are there. So this is my work center. This is my plant. Under this my work center. Then we have the cost center. This is my cost center, and these are my activities. So these activity types need to be created in controlling that price, the activity price need to be calculated. Then we should have the work center need to be integrated, or routing need to be integrated. So what is work center? So work center is a physical location where all the options are carried out. That means what are the physically activity we are doing. It maybe you can say it's shop floor. So all the work location you can say, it may be physical location, it may be production line, it may be machine. So anything you can say that is my work location. So in this work location multiple activities are there, and these activities will be done in the pp module. The price will be calculated in the co module. Once it will be integrated, then we are going to have the price of the activities there. Now you can see same thing also it is there. So what are the activities I'm using here? The activities are, this is three activities. So this is my operation one. Okay, so these are my activities. This is my work center. Then this data we have maintained in our routing or in our operation. Then before that we need to find out our price of the activities. Once everything integrated together, then we found our activity. So this is operation. You can see one more line is there. This is my operation 2, which is design in the routing, and everything is there. Then also you can see one more component is there. It is also known as your additive costing. So we have some additive cost is also there, that is there. Okay, and some overheads is also calculated. And how we will get it? Because of costing sheet. So cost of production calculation is a very vast concept, and once multiple things will be it will be integrated together, then only the price is going to calculate. So far I explained what is bill of material. So bill of material is the detailed list of components to required to manufacture one unit or X unit product. So it may be a one product, like in this case it is product one. That means to manufacture one MacBook, what will be the cost is there. If in a batch we are manufacturing 50 units, then for 50 what will be the cost. So that will be our bill of material. Then we have the routing. So in routing we are designing the operations. So if you don't have the routing, then this data automatically it will not come. So that will be all again through integrations it will come. So routing consists of the list of operations to be need to be performed in order to convert your raw materials or packing materials or spares whatever into finished stock. So that is also required. Then only just having the components it is not going to work. We should have the mechanism how the cost will be calculated. For that we have the costing variants are there. Under this costing variant we are going to define multiple things. We are going to define the valuation strategy. We are going to define how this activity price will be calculated, how the material price will be calculated, how this overhead price will be calculated, what will be the quantity structure. If you'll see here some components are there. Okay, so check this data. So you can see here some informations are there. So these are nothing but my data from other module which are. So I can see the costing variant. So costing variant is going to, like you can say, it is a complete control process. It is controlling how the material price will be calculated, how the activity price will be calculated, how the overhead price is going to calculate. So each and everything will be once it will be integrated with each other. So in quantity structure, we define the bill of material, we define the routing, then only this price will be calculated. Then here we have calculated. For user, it is very simple process. User is just going to run the cost estimate and price will be calculated. But in backend, we have to configure so many things, then only it is going to work. And this is your output. This is your output. So in backend, what you need to configure to run this cost estimate or to get this screen, you should have the complete cost center configuration. You should have the complete activity type configuration, and this is part CO part. Then you should have the configuration. You should have the PP configuration, and of course the finance configuration will be there. Once everything will be integrated with each other, then finally the user is going to able to calculate the cost. Okay, so that is why this one is very important. In detail you need to go through all these components when you are going to run your cost estimate. Then another one is, you can see, that is cost component structure. Now I can only just calculate the cost like this, that's it. But if I want a bifurcation of cost, then we need to have the cost component structure. It's not mandatory we'll go for individual components. You can club both the figures. That means all my material cost, one component. This is my material cost. You can take one component as your activity cost. You can take one component as your surcharge cost. That is also fine. So this is like I bifurcated this cost. So individual components of my cost run. So that is also again another cost important tool which you need to manufacture. So the cost component break down the cost of products across the entire production. Okay, so this is all about your plant price calculation or cost of production calculation. In another video, I'm going to explain if you are going for actual price calculation, then how you are going to calculate this price. Okay, so I hope you got some idea this plant price calculation and how this product cost planning. Definitely you need to try this one in your interview point of view. Thank you very much.